Hey y'all, welcome first of all to 2021. We're excited to be broadcasting from there. I'm just getting some supplies because I misplaced some of them, but yeah, welcome back to Quaranzines. I'm gonna be making a one-page zine. You guys can do whatever you want. Okay, you know what? Okay, we are going to make a one-page zine. Classic. Yeah, so the theme for tonight is decades, and you know what? I was really thinking about, what are my favorite decades, and I have to say, I chose the 1970s, so, thanks, Leanna. Leanna was our past co-editor-in-chief, and she actually helped Rebecca and I, the current co-editors-in-chief, transition into the role, and she helped us out so much. So thanks, Leanna. We love Leanna. And Harley. She helped me start out at the Continuist. Fun times. But yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna start. Hopefully, if y'all have been following for the past few broadcasts, just in case you haven't, don't worry, we got you. All of the past episodes can be seen on our IGTV. So if you go to our profile, and okay, I don't really know how to describe it, but you know how you can see the post as a grid, and then there's other buttons, and then the last button is sort of tagged and stuff. Yeah, if you click the middle button, that's our IGTV, and you can see past Quaranzines broadcast. Ooh, and some conversations we got in were kind of spicy. Yeah, very first broadcast I got ambushed. Someone brought up B-movie, and if any of you know me, B-movie is a huge trigger. I hate that movie. But we're not talking about B-movie tonight, so we're gonna be fine. So, hi, Tatsbell. Thanks for joining. But yeah, I'm just making a one-page zine. Classic, easy. Hopefully y'all remember how to make it. Yeah, I'm just doing my folds so that they come out extra crispy. Y'all, I don't know what happened, but yesterday I was doing some crafts, and then I had my ruler, my trusty, okay, I'm not gonna name drop any companies because support local businesses, and I did not support a local business at the time, but I will moving forward. But my trusty ruler, that's really good material, that's good when you're using your if you have an X-Acto knife. Yeah, it was on the edge of my desk, and then I guess I accidentally pushed it a bit, and then it fell. But y'all, I can't find it anymore. It disappeared, so RIP to that ruler. I don't know if I'll ever find it again, but now I have to use this jank plastic one, and then it chafes. But you know what? We'll do what we can, y'all. It's fine. But yeah, okay, so I'll just go quickly through it once again. Okay, the one-page zine, y'all. I know it. I don't know what happened. Literally, it fell right here, and then there's only one place it could be, on the floor next to my desk. You'd think, right? But no, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. I want it back. So ruler, if you hear this, please show up. But yeah. Anyways, back to the one-page zine. Okay, so if y'all remember, you gotta fold it this way, across the long side like that. And then we're gonna fold it again like that, so it's equal. And then you gotta fold it once more. like that, so you have the shape of your zine. Okay, one tip that I've noticed making one-page zines is that when you're folding it this way, then I highly recommend, like, leaving a bit, okay, I don't know if y'all can see that, but like leaving a bit, like not folding it directly like that so both of them are equal, but like just leaving a bit of space on the edge like that, so that when you fold it this way, then like it'll perfectly fold. Oh my gosh, I hope that makes sense. Sorry if it doesn't, but either way, like you can fold it the way I just did and it'll be fine. The ruler went to Wonderland. I'm pretty sure it did. Because that's kind of freaky. Like, my room's not that big, so I don't know where the heck it could have went. I looked in that area like 3 times today, and she's gone. Anyways. So, once you have everything folded... Oh, thanks, Tasman. Okay, it makes sense. Okay. Okay, so once you have all your folds, you'll see you have all the sections. Okay, and what we're gonna do... Remember, y'all, in the middle, we're only cutting... these 2 spots, okay? We're not cutting to the edge or anything like that, only the middle. Okay. But I trust you guys at this point. Like, it's been how many months? How many quarantines have we had? Like 5 so far. This is the 6th broadcast. Woo! Once again, our theme is decades, and I chose the 1970s because the 70s pop culture was poppin'. Politically, the 70s, But yeah, okay, once again, what I'm doing is cutting the middle. I'm using my trusted X-Acto knife because I love the X-Acto knife, but I remember I neglected to show how to use it with scissors for the longest time, and that was my fault. I'm sorry. But if you're using scissors, then basically you'd take your sheet and then you'd fold it this way. So it's like the chunky kind of fold, right? And then we're gonna only cut this way, okay, y'all? Again, not cutting all the way or else you're just gonna cut it in half. But yeah, we only cut the middle part here. And you have your fold, so then like it'll be easy to see how straight you're cutting it. So I'll use scissors this time. I have better scissors, luckily, so it's possible. Okay. Easy peasy like that. See, and then you have your middle slit. Whoa. Okay, and y'all already know what's about to happen. Okay, you fold it down a bit, like all sides go like this and like other way, so that it's all you want to make sure you're making really good folds, so it's just easier to like switch and like flip it. Oh my gosh, flipping stuff. But okay, y'all, here's the interesting part. When you first fold it, unless you remember how you folded it, you may have to do some like moving around like this again to like get the perfect fold, because sometimes it gets a little weird and it looks like that and then it won't fold nice. But if you just like go like this a few times and then see how well it folds, then that's fine. And I think my first fold was the best one. Yeah, I think this one's good. Okay, so I have my fold, y'all. Whoa, and then with that, you have your one-page zine. Whoa! As if I haven't done this a million times, but that's fine. Always exciting. Okay, so I have my one-page zine, and now we can start decorating. Okay, I admit, again, my cutouts are not ready, but you know what? That's fine. We can talk a bit then. Okay, so I'll put that question out there. What decade did you choose? Or if you're not designing with us tonight, what decade just do you vibe with? Like I said, I vibe with the 70s. Like, you already see my hair. Like, my dad gave me this hair. And luckily, like, I don't know, I was a stubborn kid, and at some point my mom was sending me to like people who specialized in black hair, and I did have some cool like hairstyles, but then at some point I was just like, I don't want to do anything with my hair, don't touch it, I'm gonna keep it an afro. And it's been that way ever since, and I think it suits me. It was always one of my defining features, which I appreciate. And as you'll see, okay, one thing about my choose for 70s cutouts, okay, at first, obviously, since it's like one of my favorite decades, I was like, okay, there's so many possibilities I could go with like choosing 70s like themed cutouts. But then I came across Donna Summer, and then I was like, you know who was popping in the 1970s? Women were popping. So I was like, you know what, screw the whole decade, I'm only focusing on my favorite women. Okay, see, we got Donna Summer, obviously my favorite photo of her, because look how glamorous that is. Love her. Disco, ooh, okay, I may rant about that tonight, y'all, just saying. But yeah, anyways, 2010s. Oh, okay, I felt that Tatspita, yup, 2010s, anytime. Yeah, have y'all ever, like, y'all are probably watching, like, TV and movies from the past, and just the way they're all talking so closely to each other, I miss that. It's like yesteryear. But anyways, yup, okay, so we got our women. Like, who else was killing it in the 70s besides women? Like, I don't know, try to refute me, but look at all these amazing, beautiful, talented women. So Donna Summer, obviously I can't talk about the 70s without talking about Miss Cher. Glamorous, we love her. Ooh, and also Miss Aretha Franklin, I love her. My favorite song from her, Call Me, is from the 70s, so I had to choose it, obviously. We got Minnie Riperton. She sang Loving You, that song that goes like super high. I'm not about to sing it because y'all will probably like log off this broadcast, but yeah, okay, and then Debbie Harry, obviously, fronting Blondie like the queen she is. Like, who else could touch her then? No one else. Thanks, I love these photos. Don't they all look amazing? Okay, and then we have Kate Bush. Oh my gosh, I credit Kate Bush with like inspiring me to read a book, because if y'all like know me, I have a bit of trouble reading because like my focus is always like off, and it takes me like forever to read one page. I'm pretty sure some of y'all can like relate to that, where you're trying to read a page and then your mind goes off, and then you're like, wait, I read it but I didn't absorb it. So reading takes me a bit, but Kate Bush, thank you for making the song Wuthering Heights. I read the book, it was kind of wild. Heathcliff, boy, he had issues, but anyways. Okay, and then we have Carole King, obviously. Oh my gosh, Tapestry. If you haven't heard Tapestry, amazing. And then we got Joni Mitchell. Ooh, Joni Mitchell, I love her so much. Probably in my like, she's in my top 10 favorite artists of all time. Period. And then we got Roberta Flack. If you guys want to cry tonight, one of the songs that always makes me cry is her cover of Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, written by Carole King. See how all these women are just working together to be amazing? Like, oh, anyways, so Roberta Flack, if you want to cry, one song that always makes me cry is her cover of Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow. Anyways. And then lastly, I have here Shaka Khan, also amazing. And you'll notice that a lot, like three of these women have afros, which one thing about the 70s that I appreciate are the afro representation. Like growing up, it was like the 2000s. You weren't seeing no one with an afro in my area, so seeing these women really helped. And when I grow up, I do plan to have children. And hopefully if my child has an afro like I do, then I will surround our home with photos of beautiful afros, because I wish I had that as a kid. But yeah, that's my promise to my future child. That sounds kind of weird, but my future child, you will be proud of your curly hair, period. And back on representation, that's important. And that's what we value here at the Continuous: diversity and representation. But yeah, okay, well, we have some time now. I showed y'all how to do the one-page zine, so at this point, we can just pop off, y'all. So, once again, the theme for tonight is broadcast. I just showed you all my favorite 70s women, because no one else was killing it like women back then. Like, come on. Like, men, no offense, this is not a man-hating thing, but some of y'all were dressing so basic in the 70s. Except for maybe, like, David Bowie or whatever, but women. They were too amazing. But yeah, okay, let's go through the decades and think of our favorite women. Let's start with most recent. 2010s. Okay, which women did we love in the 2010s, y'all? Okay, I admit, I was one of those, the 2010s were my coming of age decade, because I went into high school during the 2010s, came out of high school, started university, and I admit I was one of those kids who was not listening to like modern music. I was listening to old stuff. I only had a brief superiority complex, not like those kids who are like, ooh, I was born in the wrong generation, yada yada yada. Luckily, I never delved too deep into that, but I definitely was not listening to, like, modern music. But the only person coming to mind is Ariana Grande, honestly. But she was popping in the 2010s. Who else? See, because all my pop culture knowledge is from the 20th century. So, oh wait, I totally forgot, y'all. Okay, since I was focusing on the 70s, I did have this magazine I wanted to show y'all, because there's some looks in here, but also some like weird looking stuff. I don't know, but yeah, okay, tell me what y'all think. I'll show y'all some photos and you tell me what you think. Okay, hold up. Oh my, y'all, I can't believe this. I forgot one woman who I absolutely adore. This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed, y'all. How could I forget Miss Dolly Parton? I'm sorry, Miss Dolly. I'm so sorry. I left you out of my cutouts. I'll print some extra cutouts just for you. But y'all look at her. Is she not glamorous and amazing? I'm sorry, but we will not tolerate any Dolly Parton slander here, because she's amazing. Yup, I see y'all liking, right? Miss Dolly. How can you not love her? She's smart. She's like talented. She stands her ground. Remember when she was on Hannah Montana? She made that show. But, oh my gosh, she's so amazing, and I'm so sorry I left her out of my lineup. I'm so sorry, Miss Parton. But we all love her here, so if you don't, I guess that's fine, but this is a Dolly Parton loving space, so sorry. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, I wanted to show y'all this photo, because this photo is weird and it's making me uncomfortable. Okay, we are not zine making right now, but please, I need to know opinions. Look at this home design. Okay, so that's the living room or a sitting room or whatever, but look at what's in the middle. That's a like jacuzzi. Like, ew. Like, no offense, but I don't know. Okay, I shouldn't have said ew, because maybe you're feeling it, but what is y'all's opinion on this? So this is, like, a couch here, like, see the drapes. This is clearly, like, a living area. And then they just have a jacuzzi in the middle there. And some, like, weird, hairy old man with some young women, which obviously... But anyways, like, I don't know. How do y'all feel about jacuzzis in your living room? Like, I've seen conversation pits. Like, that was big in the 70s. That's not weird. Jacuzzis in the middle of the living area is weird. So, I don't know. Let me know your opinions on that, y'all. That makes me uncomfortable. Weirdness. This is a really good magazine. I got it from the dollar store. It was only like, yeah, $3. Oh my gosh, look at this photo of Donna Summer. Is she not glamorous? Ugh, don't even try to tell me she's not. I love her so much. No one was doing disco like Miss Donna. Okay, I should start designing. Oops, okay. But anyways, you know what? I'm gonna go on my disco rant right now. Speaking of disco, okay. I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but culturally, there's some kind of, like, hatred for disco by, like, cool kids, you know, those, like, stereotypical rock-loving kids or whatever. Like, ew, disco was, like, a commercial cash grab or whatever. First of all, disco was amazing, okay? Like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe it was mainstream, and, like, John Travolta looked really tacky in Saturday Night Live, and, you know, a lot of tacky clothing. Actually, the women looked amazing. Some of the suits the men wore was kind of ugly, but disco was popping, okay? Like, don't even try to, like, come at me with how disco was it was amazing, okay? Disco was fun. And you know who was... Okay, let me do some, like, cultural studies check-in right now. You know who dominated the disco, like, the demographic that dominated that scene? Minorities. Black people, Hispanic people, LGBTQ people, those who made up disco. The dance moves, the music, the rhythm, all of them. And you know who were the most critical of disco? Rock fans. Now, I love rock, but thinking back on their hatred of disco back in the 70s, I thought it was tacky, ridiculous. There was some superiority complex happening there. Because, like, disco's amazing, okay? And then you're gonna be like, disco is like... They probably use some slurs. Like, I don't know. I saw an article about it. And then they were going into how how disco was dominated by black people, LGBTQ people, Latino and Hispanic people. And then some guy in the comments was like, oh, it was totally not about race or, like, sexuality. It was about this, and this. Obviously, they were like, because it was, like, so mainstream and tacky, but it's like, yeah, I just know deep down a lot of those exact fans were probably using, like, gay as an insult, like, oh, disco's so gay, look at how those disco guys are dressing. So, to this day, I do not trust anybody who is critical of disco. Unless you give me some, like, legitimate criticism of disco and not just say, ew, disco was, like, mainstream, then I'm gonna be suspicious of you, period. Sorry. Another cultural lesson real quick. One of the major events of the 1970s was the Disco Demolition Night, or whatever it's called. I don't care. It was trash anyways. But I'ma lay it down for y'all because it makes me mad to this day. Okay, y'all, like I said, the most critical disco, like the people who are most critical of disco versus like rock fans. And like, I'm just saying facts. It's not some like reach or anything, but most of them were cisgender white males. Okay, that's not a like reach or anything. It's true. Like, there's footage of the disco demolition night. It's mostly white guys, so oh my gosh, I'm ranting, sorry. But that night makes me so mad because there's, oh, okay. Anyways, so on this disco demolition night, there was supposed to be a baseball game. And then this like local DJ in the city that they were holding it, this local DJ, rock DJ obviously, he was like, man, disco sucks. Like, I hate disco so much. Blah, 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 blah. I love Led Zeppelin. Ugh. But anyway, so he was that kind of guy. Trashing on disco when people were just trying to have fun, because disco is fun, period. And then, obviously, he had a, like, army of little minions who were like, we hate disco too. Let's, like, destroy it. We hate disco so much. Ridiculousness. But anyways, so at this baseball game, there was, like, I guess a little break. And then, like, the DJ demanded, he was like, okay, bring all your like disco records out tonight. We are gonna put them all in a pile and we're gonna burn them. And see how ridiculous that is? Like, you hate something so much that you're willing to go. Okay, first of all, I don't know like, I assume they didn't have disco records, but if they bought new disco records just to trash them, like, just imagine that, y'all. Like, how much hatred do you have to have in your heart for, like, disco? Like, really? Like, is it that serious? Like, why don't you just, like, go to your little room and listen to your little rock music instead of, like, trying to destroy fun? But anyways, so yeah, these, like, ridiculous people ran out into the field with their records. And might I add that some of them didn't just bring disco records. They also brought like funk records, and you'll probably see a pattern here. I'm not trying to say something, but they also brought funk records, jazz records, and you know what? I'm gonna just say it. Majority of these records were by black artists, okay? Because I don't know, black people were just killing it in like almost all popular music genres in the United States. But anyways, damn, we're really getting like radical on Maine. Sorry, everybody, but it needs to be said if we're talking about the 70s, okay? Okay. Anyways, back to Demolition Derby night, disco, whatever. So yeah, they like ran onto the field and then they threw all the records in there. And then they're like, we hate disco, burn it up, burn, baby, burn. And that's exactly what they did. They lit a fire in the middle of the field where all the records were, and they burned records. Now, obviously, in the moment, you'd look at that and just think like, oh man, stupid kids, they're just like goofing off or whatever. But when you... And I'm gonna get all culture studies on y'all right now because that's what I do. I examine it and then I compare it to the data we have now about culture and like discourse or whatever. The fact that they took a bunch of records, a lot of them by black artists, and they were so mad at one genre that they went out of their way to burn copies of these albums. Like, what if maybe someone bought a record like secondhand or whatever, or if they bought a new record, that would be so trash. But like, I don't know, just destroying things like that. Now this may be a reach because obviously you can get albums easy peasy, no worries. Like, now. But I don't know, it sounds similar to book burnings. And what are you trying to do when you were part of them book burnings? You were trying to erase a certain kind of information or culture going out there. So all of these mad rock fans, y'all hated disco so much that you were willing to destroy disco, like, pieces of disco history, like, in records. Like, trash. I'm sorry, I hate... So that is why I will defend disco till my last dying breath. Don't try to come at me with disco sucked, because it was a cash grab. Disco was amazing. The people who participated in it were amazing. The representation in disco was amazing. So, like, you were only mad because y'all weren't the center of attention on the charts. Period. If you want to listen to rock music, you had the power to buy your favorite rock band's records and listen to them. Like, why are you trying to come for disco? Anyways, okay, so that's my rant for tonight. I had to get that out there, y'all. I needed to, like, let y'all know that it's not right to bash on music genres for the wrong reasons, okay? Yup, they were toxic stans. And their leader, that weirdo who ran the radio station, he had a lot of hatred in his heart. I don't know where he is now. He may be dead. But that doesn't erase what he did. But yeah, ultimately, as history would see it, unfortunately, disco eventually died. R.I.P. But then it came back, like, I know there's a bit of controversy on her name right now because of her boyfriend, but Dua Lipa, she was incorporating some disco. Sounded pretty good. But back on the topic of disco, you know what group I loved? I still love, actually. Okay, they were low-key a cash grab, I'll admit that. Well, not really cash grab, but they were definitely, like, commercialized. Village People! I love Village People. Okay, if y'all don't... Wait, I have a picture of them right here. I don't care. Okay, Village People were, like, genuinely cheesy. But... Oh, I don't care. I love them. They're amazing. Dang it, where is it? Okay, well, I have one right here. Remember, that's Village People, YMCA, guys. You know the song YMCA? Yeah, that one. Okay, there was, like, no one else doing it like Village People either. Their disco was so good, okay? And they had the bonus of having black members, LGBT members, albeit they were all men, but I mean, they were still popping. Like, did you see their outfits? Okay, minus the Native American character, because that one obviously would not fly today. And apparently the guy who he says he's indigenous, you know, I'm gonna stop it there. Y'all can search that up yourself. But ooh, any song recs for Village People? Yes. Man, okay, one thing about Village People is that one of my favorite songs from them, it's not on Spotify, and I can't find their album, like, anywhere, but... Okay, you know what? I actually don't remember the title of this. Sorry, I don't remember it, but it was this really nice ballad. There's a video of it on YouTube. And it was this really nice ballad sung by the soldier guy. Which one is it? This guy? If y'all can see that. It was sung by him. I forgot what the song is called, but his voice was so nice. Oh my god, but I forgot the title, so if I'll search it up after the broadcast and I'll put it on our story, but I love that song. Unfortunately, there's only a video of it online. Like, you can't find it on Spotify, so that sucks. Another Village People song I love, Ready for the 80s. Obviously, it's clearly dated, but I love it. Basically, they're just super pumped that the 80s are coming. And you can, oh my gosh, imagine, like, what that song would have been like in the club on New Year's in 1979. Ooh, Village People were like, we're ready for the 80s, ready. Ooh. So, yeah, that. Okay, obviously classics, like Macho Man. The video for that, clearly what you'd expect from Village People, but anyways, not that that's a bad thing, but very 70s disco cheesy. Okay, so I've cut out everything. Okay, just checking the time. We have like half an hour left. For those of you who just joined, in the middle of my rant, yeah, like tonight's theme is decades, and as I was saying before, I do love pop culturally the 70s because we gotta acknowledge that politically the 70s were atrocious. Like, Nixon, what were you doing? Anyways, but yeah, okay, but pop culturally the 70s were poppin', so all of my cutouts are these beautiful women from the 70s. We got Miss Aretha Franklin, we love her. We got Cher, Carole King, Donna Summer. That's what tipped off my disco rant. But yeah, we're focusing on women because women looked amazing in the 70s. They were beautiful, just killing it all together. Amazing. And the men who were dressing out there, not like basic jeans like most of the guys were wearing back then. Not basic as like jeans and a button up. But those guys like David Bowie, Mark Bolan, all those guys who dressed like out there, they got their looks from women. So the clear conclusion here is that women ruled the 70s. Period. So that's why I dedicate my zine to them, because I love them. Okay, this is my cover. I really went off there. Okay. Remember, when you have your zine, you like, usually sometimes you can forget, so I like to mark. I don't want to lose my fold because it's folded perfectly right now. So you can just use a pencil to like mark what each page is so you don't lose it. But yeah, y'all, drop your like favorite decades in the chat. Tell me your favorite men or women or non-binary folks, that's fine. Your faves from your fave decade. Okay. Whew, okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do for my cover. I think I'm gonna work on... I was thinking of doing like a collage, sort of. I can't believe I forgot Dolly Parton. I'm so sorry, Miss Dolly. I swear you would have definitely been in my lineup of cutouts, but I just forgot. I'm sorry, Dolly Parton. I love you. No one was doing country like Dolly Parton. Ooh, okay, well, that's a rant for another day, but country, I know the stereotypical, like, belief about country is that it's all, like, tractors and trailers and racism and stuff like that, and there is a side of country that is like that, but y'all, you should look into women in country, because women in country, they were killing it. Dolly... Who else? Loretta Lynn. They were singing about, like, birth control and, like, just really scandalous stuff. She was like, I don't want to have kids no more. I want birth control. But obviously a lot of people in the country were conservative, and they were like, what the hell you talking about, girly? You gotta like have my babies and all stuff like that. But she was like, no, I want birth control because I'm sick of having kids. And I respect her for that. She dropped that, and she was a country artist. So y'all, if you have some preconceived notion about country, I highly recommend, at least if you want to start looking into it, look at women in country. Because women were speaking it like it was. Miss Dolly singing about working 9 to 5. Like, people back then were like, ew, women, stay in like my home. You're my wife, have my children, like take care of the home. And then Dolly was out here singing about having a 9 to 5 job. Plus she was in that movie with Miss Jane Fonda, and I'm sorry I forgot the other person's name, but the movie 9 to 5, and they were all working women. Oh my gosh. Women. I was quoting Joe March right there. Women, you know? Yup, I got it perfected. Because I'm a culture studies major, and like I said, remember y'all, I love cowboy culture. I feel like if I say I love cowboys, then that'll make me sound like I'm trying to look for one, which I'm not. We too busy. I'm a like go with Dolly and be like, I'm a working woman. I don't have time for that. Maybe if I find the right guy, but right now, y'all just a distraction, so no offense. Ooh. 2010s when Filthy Frank was still alive? Oh yeah. That character got killed off, huh? Because, okay, not gonna lie, I don't know too much about Joji. One of my good friends is really into Joji. But yeah, I only found out, I've seen, like, Filthy Frank memes. So that's, like, my only connection to that. And it seemed like he was a very, well, not a controversial figure, because I did have, like, I was a fan of people who did that sort of humor sometimes. And you know when some locals try to come at, like, that person, like, oh my gosh, this person's so offensive. And, like, yada, yada, yada. Like, okay, not to excuse, like, certain types of humor, but if, like, some people who were like, ooh, I just like edgy humor, most of the time, they're, like, kind of trash. But I don't know. That's a whole conversation. But we won't get into that. But yeah, I heard he was really popular in the 2010s. And then it was just like weighing on him, and then he had to retire the character because it was messing up his mental health. And then he became Joji. And that's all I know about that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, let's move on from the 2010s. Okay, let's think of the 2000s. Okay, you know who was killing the 2000s? One, obviously, Miss Beyonce. Like, what other... Okay, well, I shouldn't say that, because a lot of women were amazing in the 2000s. Rihanna, obviously. Oh my gosh, I saw this funny meme literally today. Not a meme, it was a tweet. And someone was like, rude of Rihanna to say, please don't stop the music. A little hypocritical, don't y'all think? Like, Miss Rihanna, we love and respect you, but like, we want some tunes, please. But also, we don't want to pressure her, because she's allowed to do what she wants. Okay, she doesn't need to listen to us. Our broke asses. She doesn't need to listen to us, but, you know, a crumb of music, please, Rihanna. Thank you. Forrest Gump, and that's all I have to say about that. That exactly. And that's all I have to say about that. Period. Yes, Cass. This is... Okay, that's what usually happens. Okay, well... Quaranzines broadcast is usually me at the beginning showing how to make the zine, and then the rest of the time is like me ranting. But But I mean, I always open the floor for y'all to talk, so I just get into rants because certain things make me mad. Like my disco rant. And that's gonna be on the internet forever now, but it needs to be said, cause disco didn't deserve that slander. Okay, I'm gonna get into it again, but no, 2000s. Okay, 2000s, y'all. Who were poppin' women? We have Beyonce, Rihanna. The one coming to mind is Nelly Furtado. She was pretty poppin' in the 2000s. Promiscuous Girl was so poppin'. She literally had kids singing Promiscuous Girl wherever you are. Disco is not dead, period. Disco is coming back, y'all. And if anybody wants to hate on it, like, where are those silly little rock fans now? All rock radio stations are playing okay, no shade to Imagine Dragons, but rock is kind of dead. And don't come at me because I love rock music too, but you gotta admit, like, the main genre now, it's hip-hop and rap. So y'all had your time, like, in the 20th century, but now it's time for something else. So yeah, I'm just trying to put out some criticism. Obviously, if you don't agree, that's fine. I'd be willing to hear you out on your opinion, but if your opinion is just like, oh yeah, disco sucks or country sucks, then, like, that's not a reason. And probably most people who say that, K-pop sucks, like, I've heard that. Like, you only think it sucks because you have this very limited idea of what that genre is. Meanwhile, if you actually look into the genre, like, it can be diverse AF. But y'all wouldn't see that because you think, like, you only see what the media wants you to see, you know? That's going on to conspiracy theory, but anyways. We don't do a lot of zine designing. It's mostly just me ranting, so. But thank you for joining me. Excuse me. Miss Nelly did not deserve to die out. Like, Nelly Furtado, if you're out there, like, if you released a banger, all of us here will support you, because you made banging hits with Timbaland. Amazing. Don't even, like, try to convince me otherwise. Okay, y'all, let's keep going. Okay, 2000s, who else was killing it? I love the 2000s. Oh, okay. Who else? Okay, I'll work on one page. I'm talking too much. I'm not doing enough designing. But anyways, okay, who should we? Okay, let's talk about that. Who should we put on my first? Britney Spears. Okay, you know what? No, let's go back to this. Okay, Britney. I love Britney Spears too. Ooh. She was killing it in the 2000s. Like, please, right on the 2000 dot, she was killing it. Excuse me, we love Britney here. And I trust her. And she's been getting so much shiz. But, I mean, I guess we all know here that women, like, get pooped on for doing anything. Britney went through too much for y'all to be calling her some vapid, like, pop princess. Like, she's talented. She had to go through so much. Like, apparently the boys she sings with, like, they forced her to do that, and that hurt her vocal cords. So, like, excuse me, like, and she still killed it. She had to work under grueling circumstances. And, like, she's not even in charge of her own life. So, if anyone tries to come for Britney Spears here, I'll fight you. So, don't even try to, like, she danced, she sang. And I think we, as a society, and, you know, I participated in this too, because we value honesty and transparency here. But as women age, you know, like people like Britney and Mariah, they got like pooped on for lip syncing. And anyone who knows me, one of my most devastating moments in life was a Mariah Carey free concert, but I won't get into that because it was a bit. But oh, she's free now? Oh, that's good. But yeah, I heard like her dad controlled everything, and like they were not treating her well, and I was like, that's trash. I feel bad for her. And we treated her so horrible in 2007 when she had her breakdown. Like, the tabloids in the 2000s, they need to, whatevs, but they sucked. Literally drove her to a breakdown. Disgusting. The misogyny. Horrible. That's awesome. I hope she's doing better. Because obviously, I think she was in it for years. So she's probably going to have to deal with a lot of stuff to get past it. But I hope Britney Spears, if you ever hear this, literally at any moment in time, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I hope you're having an amazing month. And I wish you all the best in 2021. You're amazing. We all love you here. We love you, Britney. Okay. Yeah, tabloids moved to... Okay, but there is one discourse that I heard that I love. And yeah, back in the 2000s when there was all of those people who were like hounding celebrities for their photos, and there was like the famous crotch shot photos of female celebrities coming out of their cars, and then they're like would come out, and like they would just be so harassing. And I saw this discourse that I thought was amazing, and they said that celebrities like Paris Hilton, like Britney, Lindsay Lohan, what's great about social media now and taking selfies is that they low-key took that back, and it's like whatever they post on social media is what they control. Is what they control now, and they can sort of control like what they put out there. Obviously paparazzi still exists, but you know, that's a part of like agency that they took back when it came to their personal lives. But yeah, I read that and I was like, yeah, Paris Hilton, she got like hounded by paparazzi. But now she has her own social media, and when she posts a selfie, that's on her terms, not on some sleazy tabloid person's terms, paparazzi person's terms. It was on her terms. But yeah, I don't know. Do people still buy tabloids? Yeah, there's a whole new different kind of like privacy invasion, like leaking. I don't know if y'all heard about Trey songs, but we're not gonna get into that because we're not talking about that. But whew, kinda very invasive. Yikes. Oh my gosh, Alexis Nyers, wasn't she part of like that group of people who Bling Ring? Is that where she's from? Like she was part of those kids who were breaking into celebrities' homes, stealing all their stuff. Obviously, I knew her first from that video of her where she was like, "This is Alexis Nyers, blah, 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 blah." And then her mom interrupted. And then she was like, "Shut up, I can't make the freaking..." That video was hilarious. But she's clearly distressed, so... But it was so funny. Like, she was trying to make the call, and then, like, why would her mom interrupt like that? Like, girl, let your child speak. It was not blah, 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 blah. It was, like, my brown something BB shoes. Alexis, I don't... Like, it clearly looks like you were going through a lot, I guess, but... Girl... I think what you did was pretty invasive, though, so... It turns out she was really deep into addiction and no one did anything to help her. Thank you, Cass. 4-inch little brown baby shoes. How could that reporter misrepresent her like that? Like, how you trying to talk about, like, her shoes and not even get it right? Like, might as well just keep your mouth shut. How about that? Ridiculousness, you know. Anyways, okay, let's get back on track. But yeah, that Alexis Nyers video. Okay, now that I know a bit more about that, and she had a drug addiction, obviously addiction, like, we don't want to be judgmental here. People get into it for different reasons, and addiction is very hard to overcome. And if she was a child and no one was supporting her, we should not be being too judgmental, you know, because we all go through stuff, and she had her life broadcasted, so you may disagree, but that's your opinion. Ooh. Nancy Joe. Oh. Nancy Joe. Girl. You trying to lie on her name like that? Well, I mean, that's what keeps it juicy, doesn't it? Lying on people's names? Yes. Okay, I was looking for this. Look at this glittery paper, y'all. Can't be putting my ladies on no blank paper. It's gotta be sparkly, obviously, because they are sparkly. Because they're amazing. Okay. 2000s were clearly popping for women too, so we love to see it. Okay, let's go to the 90s. It's okay, Cass. I learned a lot, so thank you for sharing. I learned so much. I only knew Alexis Nyers from that one video and my vague recollection of whatever bling ring is, but now I know that some misjudgment towards her may be misplaced, so. Okay, let's move on, y'all. 90s. Okay, first off the bat, Mariah. Miss Mariah Carey. I think she was like the biggest 90s woman, I have to say. Hi, Muskan. What's up? Ooh, Muskan, you should have been here earlier. We were dishing out the tea, but that's fine because we're gonna continue that. We're talking about decades, and we're talking about our favorite women from every decade. And now we're on the 90s, and we are talking about Miss Mariah. Okay. The broadcast is going amazing. We're dishing it out, y'all. Right? We're dishing it out. Okay. Miss Mariah, I did have a devastating experience. All of my closest friends know about it. But now, as we're like reflecting on our past judgments and all of that, I realized maybe some of my judgment was a bit misplaced. And one of my friends even pointed it out, and now I'm considering it, and I'm like, okay, yeah. It relates to what I said before about how women like Britney and Mariah, the older they get and the more more people notice that they lip sync, the more people criticize them. But you know what? They've been through so much in this industry, and you know what? If y'all are willing to pay for them, they're still able to bring in the fans. And like, if they are lip syncing and fans can still go crazy, they can do that. That's their business, okay? Like, that moment was still devastating. Maybe I'll get into it another time, not now, because I don't think we have a lot of time left. But I'm changing my opinion on Miss. Oop, okay, don't worry, we'll get into it. Okay, Miss Whitney Houston. Okay. Let's talk about Miss Whitney. Yes. That voice. I can only wish. Like, rest in peace, Miss Whitney. You were a queen. unfortunately, your life was a bit rough too, and we heard about it. Like, some people's lives, like, your worst moments broadcasted like that. Her relationship with Bobby Brown, I heard that was a bit much. Unfortunate. Ooh, I was about to say something, but, never mind. I know she... Ooh! Oh, okay, y'all. Drop your favorite Whitney songs. Okay, you want to hear? Okay, another amazing connection. Where are we? Once again, Miss Dolly, I love you, and I'm sorry for forgetting you. I'm gonna print out your photo to put on my zine. Miss Dolly? Miss Whitney, she sang I Will Always Love You. She sang it and she killed it, which Miss Dolly recognized. And Miss Dolly isn't like, if Miss Dolly is shading you, it's for a reason, and I believe her. So if like Dolly is getting some vibes from you, you're probably trash. But she heard Whitney cover her song. She was like, this ain't even my song now. And she recognized greatness recognizes greatness, right? Period. So there's another brilliant woman connection. Miss Whitney popping off on Miss Dolly's song, and I have to say, y'all, I was like driving one day, and then Dolly's version came on, the OG version of I Will Always Love You. I was close to tears, y'all. I gotta admit. Whoever sings it, they were amazing. So it's a fact that all the greats sang I will always love you. Period. Don't even try to fight me on that one, so because you're gonna lose and I will disagree with you. So yeah, highly recommend if you haven't heard Miss Dolly's version. She was the one who wrote it, which, by the way, another tidbit, Miss Dolly wrote I Will Always Love You and Jolene in the same day. Greatness. Like, you tried writing 2 massively hit songs in one day. You do that and come to me, and maybe I'll give you some legendary status, but no one was doing it like Miss Dolly. But yeah, Whitney Houston, a voice like that only comes one in a lifetime. And it was her. It was her, y'all. How Will I Know? Please, that song always gets me bumping. Oh no. Oh my gosh, is it almost 8? Yikes. This is a good convo, y'all. I admit. Where are we? Oh, bye, Cass. Dang. Oh my gosh. Ooh, we're almost at 8, y'all. Okay, let's wrap this up by drop your favorite female artist in general. Just drop your favorite female artist. I have a bunch. Like I said, most of them are here. Miss Aretha, please. Love Miss Aretha. Okay, I'm gonna say out of my lineup here, my 2 favorite female music artists, Joni Mitchell and Aretha Franklin. Period. But yeah. Who else? I don't know. I think we covered a lot of ground tonight, y'all. Not a lot of zine making, admittedly, but I think we accomplished a lot talking about amazing women, because you can never go wrong discussing about how amazing women are. if you want to hear me talk about male artists, I've done that in the past. So don't try to come at me saying, oh, why do you only talk about women? Why don't you watch the other broadcasts? I name drop a bunch of men. But we're talking about the girlies now because we love them. But yeah, I guess this broadcast is gonna be over soon. Because y'all need to get on and do your work. Or go to lecture. Don't stay here because we're talking about some tea. Like, tea is delicious, but you gotta keep up with your schoolwork. The tea can wait, and don't worry. Like I said, check out our IGTV and you can relive the magic. If you want to skip to the tea about women... Okay, well, this is going to be shown at the end, so that doesn't really make sense, but... You may have to skip past my disco rant. Ella Fitzgerald? I've been listening to a lot of Billie Holiday lately. Queens! Oh, we taking it real back. Okay, 1930s? Yup. Again, women killing it. Period. Miss Fitzgerald? Oh, true. Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald. Duh, that's what we're talking about. Yup, we love Ella Fitzgerald here. Oh my gosh, jazz singers. I have a newfound appreciation for jazz. Especially jazz vocals. Because, like, obviously before, I didn't, like, really know the essence of what makes jazz vocals. And there's a difference. There's a difference from, like, pop singing. A lot of that. But, honestly, it was, like, this one song that I'm still listening to, like, on repeat to this day. And I heard it on the radio. It was called Easy Living, which obviously it's a, like, popular jazz standard. Another song that Miss Billie Holiday, she sang that one too back in the 1930s. But this one cover of Easy Living, I heard it and I was like, holy! Because I was like, now, I think that's what jazz is supposed to sound like. Dang! So, I love that song, and yeah, most of the jazz I listen to is obviously, like, instrumental kind, not the vocal kind, but yeah, if y'all want to drop some Ella in the chat, let's check it out. Let's check it out, y'all. Ooh. What's my Spotify? Ooh, okay. I have a gripe with Spotify because it's one of those websites that doesn't let you change your username. So, my username is Cantaloupe2166. Please don't judge me. I don't know why. As a teenager, I just loved zoning in on certain words. Like, one of them was squirrel. Another one of them was cantaloupe. So the name I chose, I thought I could change it, but then I couldn't. So then my name is Cantaloupe2166. So that's my name on Spotify. If you want to follow me, I have my Spotify. That is one of the things that if I ever lose it, like if my account shuts down or if Spotify shuts down or anything like that, if I lose Spotify, I will lose nearly like 7 years worth of me like documenting all the music that I've listened to since like maybe 2015 or so. So if I like, my Spotify means so much to me, y'all. Just saying. And like, yeah, I organize everything by decade because I just listen to too much that I could not do it by genre, so it's by decade. So you can all find that on my Spotify, Cantaloupe2166. I'll follow you back because y'all have great music taste too, so. Ruh-roh, y'all. It's 8 o'clock. I'ma have to end this broadcast. Sorry, y'all. Oh, but the conversation we had tonight was amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. We don't have to stop this convo. Like, hit me up if you want to talk about some amazing women. Again, we got like Carole King here, Shaka Khan. The Afro representation here. Look at this. I gotta flash this as one of my last images because look at this Afro representation. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Whoever tuned in a bit late, that's fine. The decade that I chose was the 70s, and look at this beautiful Afro representation. Like, you can, like, nobody's doing it like this in 2021. Like, unless I'm not looking enough, so then maybe that's my fault, I admit it, but like afros, it's like I said earlier in my broadcast, when I have kids and hopefully they inherit my curly hair, these are the images they're gonna see all over the house because they need to see that curly hair and hopefully praying that they have an afro because that's awesome. That they'll see that afros are awesome and beautiful, glamorous women, and I'll have, like, males with afros if I had a... Well, like, I mean, I can do everybody with afros. But, yeah, okay, so... Thank y'all for joining me. First Quaranzines of 2021. Amazing. The discourse was fabulous. Thank you for contributing, y'all. Thank you for listening to me rant because I ranted a bit much back there, but y'all needed to know the slander that disco was getting in the 70s. It was misplaced and subconsciously motivated by racism, homophobia. So, like, y'all just needed to know, okay? So, if you have an issue with that, comment it. Like, I'll hear you out, but don't come at me with no basic-ass arguments like, well, because it sucked. Well, maybe because you suck. So, oh my gosh, I'm ranting again. Okay. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. See ya. Thanks. Now for me to awkwardly turn this off. Okay, bye guys!